Hello everyone, and welcome back to CSSBattle.dev. Today was very challenging. I'm just going to come out the gate here and say it. I could not solve this problem. I beat my head over it for 30 minutes, which is the maximum amount that my computer will let me record a video. I kind of set it up that way so I don't go over a crazy limit, right? I don't have an hour-long video of coding. We'll save that for Twitch. Yeah. So I spent 30 minutes trying to figure this one out. You'll see this video is at 2.5 times speed. So if you want to watch the video anyway and see where my thought process went, go right ahead. Essentially, what we have is a small white box in the middle of our body with a half circle at the bottom that kind of shades a portion of the bottom half of our body. It's this half circle that darkens part of our entire thing here. So originally, just looking at it, my thought was just blue background, white box, half circle, shader, right? Half circle being completely black, essentially, but with an alpha or a opacity of maybe half, so you can see through it. So that way you can still see the square and the background, and it's not completely just one color of a half circle, but you can see through to both shapes and colors. And I messed around with this for a while, trying to get the right values for our half circle, and it just never worked out. It was either like my circle was just too blue or it was too light. Even when I darkened it, it wasn't like gray enough. And CSSBattle, they have all of the colors that are used in their exercise down below. They have each one of these. So we have like the blue background and the white square, and it's listed there. And then it has the two different colors for our shaded portion of the square as well as our shaded portion of the background. And like as if these two have separate colors. It's just crazy to me. I thought this was gonna be easy. You just shade the colors that you already see. Like I have that in my portfolio. I have certain shaders. I have shadows for my shapes, and I thought that's what this was. But matching the color was way more difficult than I thought it was going to be. So after I ran out of time on the recording, and I sped up my process, I spent some time after kind of doing some research, looking up how other people have done this, how I might match the color of how I might put in part of a circle inside of my square. Rather than just having one big circle, we'll have like two that are kind of overlapping and one being hidden except for the part that shows up on the square. It feels like it's a lot more complicated than it needs to be, right? Like, I've got my head in my hands, I'm rubbing my forehead. It stresses me out just thinking about how hard it was to match this. And going back and forth and trying it pixel by pixel and shade by shade. Too much, man. For the longest time, I couldn't get above a 96% match. And I found 2 videos on YouTube that have done this exercise as well. I'll link them in the description. Thank you, both of you, who also uploaded this, and they each have their own way of doing it. And only one not only got a very short amount of characters, so a great score, but also matched it 100%. So after watching these two videos and doing my own research on CSS stuff, I couldn't match it more than 99%. I was stumped. Completely and utterly stumped. I couldn't figure out how to do it. Even when I matched the color, like the shape of the inner circle wasn't quite what it was supposed to be, and I couldn't match it. I'm exhausted. This one took me longer than I wanted it to, than any of the other ones, honestly. Well, no, that's not true. There was another one. I can't remember what it was, but that one took me 2.5 hours, and still I only got 99%. Excuse me. Some oolong tea. It soothes the soul. So I wanted to mention a couple of things, other than this frustrating shape. First of all, I want to start linking in my portfolio. You can find it down in the description. I think I'm going to put it in an end card. I haven't used end cards yet, so that'll be interesting. But yeah, if you've got some time, maybe you can click over and check out my little web page. Tell me what you think. What could be better. I'm not looking for over-the-top impressive stuff here. I'm still, learning, still just starting out. Plus, I've got my own ideas on how to improve. But if you have any feedback, I would love to hear it, and I would love to integrate what you say into what I'm doing already, right? So yeah, the link's going to be down below. Link's going to be at the end of the video. Give a click. Let me know what you think. Still a work in progress. I've still got projects like creating an e-commerce site that matches but betters the WordPress site I made. Yeah, give it a look. I appreciate you. Seriously. I appreciate you just for watching. And then if you click further, amazing. Thank you so much. And secondly, we had a little outing as a family today. And being at home for so long, I remember going through this with COVID, and I kind of wanted to share my experience here. You stuck at home for such a long while, and being out and social, even just around people you don't know, and not even being forced to like interact with them, just being in the same area, it can be stressful. You're so used to being surrounded by your own thoughts and your own family and your own space that when you go into something strange and you have to meet a bunch of strangers, it's kind of overwhelming. It feels like you're carrying a backpack full of bricks, big weight on your shoulders. But my point is, in those moments, I just want to say, remember to ground yourself. There's a lot of different exercises out there that say how to ground yourself. A lot of mindfulness exercises. My wife, she focuses on her feet. If she's at home and she's stressed out, or if she's like in a somewhat safe space, maybe somewhere private, she'll take off her shoes and she'll focus on her feet and literally think about the ground that she's standing on. Personally, what I like to do is center myself and think about like the clothes that I'm wearing. You don't consciously feel what is on your body, what's on your skin. So for me, a good way to bring myself back to where I am and what I'm doing is to consciously think about what the socks feel like on my feet, what pants feel like on my hairy shins, what a shirt feels like on my chest and my back, the cloth, how light it is. Sometimes it gets a little itchy. How soft is the cloth? You can look this up online, but I just wanted to remind you, take a moment when you're feeling overwhelmed. Remind yourself that you have a personal bubble and a safe space within yourself. Focus on that for a minute. Everybody gets overwhelmed sometimes. You're not alone. Remember to take care of yourself. All right, that's it for me. Thank you for watching. Sorry I didn't get to finish this one, but it's also fun to have a challenge you can't complete. Give a click on my portfolio. I appreciate it. And take care of yourself. Bye for now.